Okay, great. So let's just give everyone a second or two to find our link on Facebook, and then we can start. There. Okay, well, hello everybody, and welcome back to a new Reader's Warehouse Recommends, where we recommend new books live at 12 o'clock every Monday. My name is Thomas from Reader's Warehouse, and today we'll be looking at children's titles. Joining us today to highlight and recommend children's books, we have Marianne Viljoen from Penguin Random House Africa. We have Melita Kwak joining from Indie Publishers. We have Bruce Gallo joining from Jonathan Ball Publishers. We have Emma Cookby all the way from the UK joining us from Scholastic. And we have Magdalene Sneeman joining us from Penguin Random House. I'm not Penguin Random House, from Panama, South Africa. How it's going to work is we're going to be doing 3 rounds of book recommendations, and in each round, one of these wonderful people will be recommending a title to us. Each title will be put in the comment section, title, author, and link to our website. And we'll also have a blog post on our website, www.readerswarehouse.co.za, with all the titles as well for ease of reference. And then at the end, I'm just going to highlight our top 5 children's books for the past 2 weeks in our stores. So we're going to start with round 1. So Marianne, over to you for your first title.
Thanks very much, Thomas. Are you able to enable the screen sharing, please?
Thanks for asking. There we go.
Right. Sorry if you can hear chattering in the background. My parrot is busy chattering. Right. Tell me when you can see my screen.
Yeah, it's loading. There we go.
Awesome. So the first title I so loved when we were subbing this into the stores. It is a really, really stunning, as you can see, bedtime book of dinosaurs. So basically illustrated like an introduction to it. I'm going to scan through so you can see some other illustrations while I'm chatting. It features over 100 dinosaurs, sort of the world's favorite dinosaurs, and some others. And throughout, you will get to see very beautiful, very accurate illustrations with, as you can see, very much introductory reference. The text is for sort of 3 to sort of 5 or 6-year-olds, and they bring it together in such a wonderful way that it can be read aloud like a story at bedtime. So there's another spread here that you can see, really, really beautifully illustrated.
Yeah, amazing. And I know certain little toddlers love dinosaurs, so this is like a really great book as well for just leaving the toddler age.
Absolutely, and it's a really good price for 225 Rand. I think it should have been over 350, but sometimes we manage to get some great prices out of the UK.
Okay, wonderful, great, exciting. Thank you so much, Marianne, for that title. All right, Melita, over to you for your first title.
Sorry, just want to quickly share the screen here.
Yeah.
So there you go. You guys can tell me once you see it there.
Yeah.
So the first one that I'm talking about, Rodentia. So we're doing this both in English and Afrikaans. And this book came from the author Luke Calder is an artist. And he says with every exhibit, people would ask him, what is the story behind these little characters? And this is where the story comes from. And I want to say this really is a title. This is a book for kids from 8 that start to read, for people up to 80 years old. It's really for everyone who loves the escapism and the stories on like Wind in the Willows, Narnia, Nevermore, those kind of stories. So we're also doing it in Afrikaans, and I'm going to show you the cover just now. So Mozella is that little meerkat there on the front page, and her village is invaded by a group of bandit penguin pirates, and they take everyone hostage. Mozella manages to escape, and she has to find her way to the Mouse Kingdom to not only warn the Mouse King that these pirate penguins are on their way, but to also ask his assistance to help rescue her family and her friends. And on this journey, she meets all these interesting animals, like the wise owl that guides away, and Harold the Hadida, who becomes a companion. In the beginning, he's just irritating, and she just wants to get rid of Harold, but they become very, very close friends. And throughout the book, so there's the Afrikaans, Mozella en die Drie Koninkryke, and throughout the book, there are these beautiful, beautiful drawings.
Oh, wow.
So, yep.
Yeah, I think it's so exciting. We don't get much books like this, like locally. So I think it's really, really exciting. It reminds me of that Brian Jacques series as well that used to be made years ago. So very exciting. I think this is going to be perfect for set work reading as well for schools if they're looking for like a new book as well.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thanks so much, Melita. All right, Varishka, over to you for your first title.
Let's see if I get it right. Screen share. Was it open? Lordy. Can you see it?
It's loading. Yep, we can.
Woohoo! Anyway, it remains a miracle. First up is it's a middle grade, but towards the 11-12 side of middle grade. I think you can probably read it in sort of 11 till 14. Bite Risk. It's a great cover. And I love the shout out on the cover. It also has a little sticker that says for Skullduggery fans. So it's exactly that kind of, you like a little creepiness. It's a small town, and for those of us who've lived in small towns, we know you always think there must be something happening here. And so in this small town, it all seems perfect, except this one night every month when everybody over 14, I think, turn into werewolves. And so the younger kids are sort of very suspicious. They're like, something is up. And they kind of, they start to investigate. And they kind of figure out how much danger they are. You know, sometimes you think your parents might not like you, but this is a next level version of that. So perfect for fans of like horror. I feel is slowly moving across all genres. There was, you know, across all ages. So yeah, quite exciting. I think it's a good read.
Yeah, it's a great
and you obviously, if you don't have a, you know, you need to know that you're going to sleep safely at night to read it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a great cover and such a great comparison to Skullduggery. I didn't even think of that. So that's a clever little thing to do. So
just that little bit of, you know, scariness. It's always, I always say there's no better place to read a scary book than in your bed, because you know you're safe, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, wonderful. Yeah. Thanks so much, Varishka, for that.
Sure.
Okay, Emma, over to you for your first title.
Oh, I'll just share my screen. It's good. You can see this, yeah?
Yep, we can.
I'm going to start off with Pokemon. I never get to talk about Pokemon, but I know you have it, so I want to talk about it. And I know you love Pokemon as much as I love Pokemon since I was diddy bitty bitty, and it started out, and it just has continued to grow in popularity, always just continually getting better and better. There's more Pokemon, which in my opinion is good. It's only, you know, I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, the original 150, you must stick to the originals. No, I love all the new Pokemon. I try and keep up to date with them if I can, despite not having any children. But I think this one's really fun for kids, especially if you're traveling with kids and they love Pokemon. This is great for them. It's got a 42-page book with fun facts about all different types of Pokemon and colouring pages. And there are 5 double tip markers. There's 10 colours altogether. And you can get started straight away. So they've got these pre-printed designs and kids can create these beautiful stained glass window art. There's a booklet of beginner-friendly painting techniques. There's cards and art brushes and things for them to use as well. And it's just really, really gorgeous to have in the window, and especially when it's over the summer holidays and kids can hang them up and they can catch the sun. And I love that sort of thing. So I think I might actually get one of these for myself. As I say, Pokemon is always popular. So just to have this as something for if you're traveling when you're going on holiday, or if you've just got a long journey ahead of you in the car, I think this is perfect for that sort of thing. It's something that they can do sort of on their own, or you can do together, which is really nice. And it's got that nice artistic feel to it as well. So this is perfect for kids sort of 7+ to do by themselves, or even as all together as a family.
That's a great idea. Yeah, if you do one of these, Emma, you must send us a picture if you do one.
I will. Yes, I will. I know that my colleague Ed did one with his son, so I'll try and get him to send me some pictures of him and see whose is better, the 5-year-old's or mine.
Yeah. But I have to say, we did some Pokemon events last year, and I was so amazed how many older people do collect Pokemon, and it's like the moms and the dads of the kids have their Pokemon cards still. So I think that's
Oh,
such a great idea
Yeah.
to do as a family, to know something like
Yeah.
that. So,
Yeah, I've still got my Pokemon cards, so.
okay, wonderful. Thanks so much, Emma. All right, Magdalene, over to you for your first title.
Okay. Okay, can you see it?
Yep.
Ah, there we go. Okay, so this author obviously needs no introduction, but this is a beautiful new picture book from Julia Donaldson, and it's called The Book of Names. Basically, what inspired it was all the different names that she's heard over all the years of signing books for children. And she's written down some of the most interesting ones and some of the kind of normal ones, and she's woven all these names into this beautiful rhyming text, and created a whole story around it. And the story is set in a magical bookshop. So it's absolutely beautiful. And this is really like a love letter to her fans and to bookshops. And kids will enjoy trying to find their name in the book, but there's also a little space for them to write their name if they can't find it. So it's really beautiful. The illustrations are absolutely stunning. And this is definitely for people who collect Julia's books, but also for new readers who just want to discover what she's about and how her text flows and rhymes. And yeah, we're very excited about this one.
Yeah, I think I always love books set in a bookshop, and so that's just like, you know, like a
Yes.
AAA. And then that little space to write your child's name in is also such a clever little idea as well.
Yeah, and the illustrations are very detailed. So even when you've done reading the book, then you can just go back and look at the beautiful illustrations, and you know, kids can find a lot of hidden things in the illustrations. So it's really fun.
Okay, perfect. Wonderful. Well, thanks so much, Magdalene. So that is the end of round one. We're going to start with round two. So Marianne, over to you for your second title.
Thank you. The next one I have is the start of a new series called The Kindness Club. So Thomas, I think you ordered the paperback editions, but it can also be bought in hardcover. They're really good prices, I must say. Very sweet series of books where in these two first books you get to discover how Mouse finds the courage to be kind. And then Rabbit, you follow Rabbit as she learns how important it is to say sorry. And again, I have some wonderful spreads from inside. So inside, I don't have an actual copy of the book, but inside the covers, you get to meet all the characters, which is really, really sweet. And then you have these wonderful series. That is a section at the back where it tells you how you can actually be kind yourself. But you get to, children will love the myriad of wonderful animal characters. And then also they are learning and understanding the different ways that we can be kind to one another and throughout the stories as well. And the books cover different themes aside from honesty and forgiveness. So the next ones will cover anxiety, compassion, I think, and courage are the next three to come at some stage. And then in the words of Badger, who runs the Kindness Club, he says, when you show kindness, it makes you and your friends feel good. So really, really sweet stories.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited for the series to keep growing. So yeah, I think they're fantastic. And
they're really good size picture flats as well. And I think they're 40 pages each, so substantial too.
Okay, wonderful, perfect. Thanks, Marianne. That's wonderful to have those. Okay, so we're on to Melita, back to you for your second title.
Great. Marianne, I just wanted to say I love the illustrations, especially the little peacock.
Yes, they are so sweet. Very sweet.
Okay, so going on to the next one that I'm talking about is, so you all know the English, but we're doing it in Afrikaans. Die grootste week ooit, obviously starting with Monday. So this is the story of Justin, and he thought his week, he's going to have a perfect Monday, but then you know, how can he have this great Monday when his dad is driving around town in a giant toilet and his mom just married a vampire? What can get worse? What can be worse for him? So this is ideal for beginners, but it's also ideal for English kids who need to read Afrikaans and they've already read the English. So this is for 9 up to 12. But like I said, English kids, I think 10 and up will definitely enjoy this.
Yeah, we're really excited. Verushka subbed this book this year. I think we're on to the 3rd book at the moment in English. So yeah, it's wonderful that we're getting these now in Afrikaans. And I think the second one is also, yeah, it's coming out later this year, I think, Melita, am I correct?
Tuesday will be out beginning of October.
Yeah, perfect, wonderful. Yeah, we're really excited for this, and I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. Also, like you said, for people having English first language, learning Afrikaans a second language is a great one to us to recommend.
Absolutely.
It's Melita, it's perfect for that sort of Tom Gates wimpy kid market as well, because they're so heavily illustrated. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay,
All
let's see if I can do it again. Share screen. Ta-da. Has it moved? Yes.
There we go.
Okay. An author I am quite obsessed with, Kelaine Byron. She writes really well. And she's kind of, you know, I think a lot of the older authors are kind of very much like, this works for me, and they don't really try something different. Where, you know, she's done a retelling, she's done like magic fantasy, and now she's doing sort of the horror scene. And she says that she loved watching things like Scream and Freddy as a teenager, so she wanted to kind of do the ultimate slasher shout out in a book. And as always, the covers are gorgeous. Cinderella's Dead was one of those big book talk books, so we're hoping that, you know, obviously there is a bit of a following there. So imagine something like Cluedo, which is like, you know, a murder mystery board game, but in real life. So there is this Camp Mirror Lake has a rumor that something horrendous happened there years ago. It's a bit of a myth. And then so over the holidays, actors act out a murder situation, and you can go and experience the sort of best live reenactment ever. You kind of book into the camp for the week and see if you can solve the murder. And so I think her name is Cassie. Anyway, our main character, she's been picked to be the final goal. She's the one who's going to survive it all. And it's sort of the second last night. The week has gone really well, and then some of the other cast start disappearing, and then of course they find a body not part of the show, and it's a real dead body, and everyone suddenly has to fend for themselves because you don't know who the killer is. Is it one of the guests? Is it one of the staff? And also maybe the whole original story wasn't just a myth. Maybe there is something sinister that happens. So a little bit over the top, but yeah, I think it'll make for a great read.
Yeah,
and so this is, I'd say, probably, you know, probably 14 plus, but I can imagine a 12-year-old will probably not be told not to read it.
And I'm sure you're going to find out what solve the mystery at the end, you know, so it's going to keep drawing in until you find out what happens.
Exactly. It's like those little mini series where you just want to, like, you know, 3 episodes, you just want to know what happens. You just go for it.
Yeah. Wonderful. All right, thanks so much, Verushka, for your second title. So Emma, over to you for your second title.
Here we go. So Dogman, we always love to talk about Dogman, but now finally we have the official Dogman colouring book. I'm so excited for this because we've had the Cat Kid Comic Club series, which is all about encouraging creativity, different forms of art and expression. And now we've got the Dogman with Love companion title to go alongside that. And I think kids always love getting involved in it, and maybe they'd colour it slightly differently, or they can just let their imaginations just go a little bit wild with this. So it's got all of our favourite Dogman characters in it, you know, Lil Petey, Chief, you know, Dogman himself. It's got over 100 panels in it, and it's also sort of got a nice story almost that goes to it. So it's really, really brilliant. It's yeah, I think it draws them into the book as well themselves and what's happening in it. So again, it's encouraging that reading for anyone who's reluctant, but also in form of a colouring book. So it's got the activity side of it as well, and really nice and relaxing. Kids can do it by themselves, or as I say, again, another thing they can do with their family if they want to. And these are just obviously very popular characters. So I'm really happy that we've finally got a colouring book to go with this, to go alongside the how to draw as well.
Oh, that's true, because in each book, Dave shows you how to draw the characters at the end of the books, and now you get to color them in Dinosaur, which is, I think this is a great addition, and it's really exciting to get this coloring book. So
yeah, I love it.
Yeah, wonderful. Thanks, Emma. All right, Magdalene, over to you for your second title.
Okay, there we go. So my second title is a really fun one. It's middle grade. It's called An Alien Stole My Planet, from Pooja Puri, and it is perfect for ages 9 to 12. It's this madcap, wacky adventure. This is the third book in the series, and it stars the genius inventor Isha, who's our main character, and she invents a device that can make her invisible, but then accidentally opens a portal to outer space and immediately gets abducted by an evil alien who is planning on stealing Earth. So she and her apprentice, Broccoli, need to figure out a plan to, first of all, get back home and to also stop this evil alien from taking over Earth. So this one is really fun. It's got illustrations throughout. It's also perfect for reluctant readers because it's so action-packed and everything happens quite fast. It's short, sharp writing. So yeah, we have very high hopes for this one. And because it's a series, it's so much fun. You can collect all of them.
Yeah, and just to let everyone know, I think it's the second book is Hooked on Books this year, and when I do my top 5, I think our fifth best-selling book is actually one of the other books in the series, so it's definitely getting a lot more traction thanks to that. But yeah, I think this is like perfect for like Treehouse fans, just exactly. Like just a fantastic like new series to look out for.
Yeah, and the first book was endorsed by the Marcus Rashford Book Club in the UK, so yeah, we hope it just grows and grows.
Perfect. Yeah, wonderful series. Thanks so much, Magdalene. All right, so we're on to the final round. So Marianne, over to you for your final title. You'll just have to unmute yourself, Marianne. We can hear you. Let's see.
There we go. Sorry.
Yeah,
so super close to my last title. Greg James and Chris Smith, obviously hilarious, mega popular writing duo, best known for their Kid Normal series. They had written another title for us as well that the readers loved called The Great Dream Robbery, but super ghost now. So we have superhero who is super dead in this one. World famous superhero, he's called Dr. Extraordinary, and he gets blown up inside a giant robot. And young 12-year-old Sunny, who's his greatest fan, is devastated because the world without heroes is totally rubbish, according to young Sunny. But then things take an even more extraordinary turn when this doctor returns as a ghost, and Sunny's the only one who can see him. So Paragon City is where they live, and that's now under attack from this very cute and slightly creepy baby pandas. So Sunny and his best friend Spot need to help Dr. Extraordinary to save the world one final time. So really, really fun. This is the trade paperback edition.
Yeah, I mean, these two authors write very funny books. So, this book is going to be just like the others, like Kid Normal is very funny, very witty. So I'm sure this is going to be just like that as well.
Absolutely. Same market, the 9 to 12 market.
Perfect. Wonderful. Thanks, Marianne, for your final title. All right, Melita, over to you for your final title.
Great. Okay, let me just quickly get to it again. Okay. So the final title is Die Spruitebessies in die Skedel en die Spookbes. So this is the second one in the series. But saying that is the kids don't need to read number 1 in order to read number 2. So this would be for ages 10 and up. And in this one, the Splitter-Bessies, they are saving up for a trip to Italy, and to go and to do that, all three of them get a holiday job at Spoorkuil, which is a luxury guest farm in the Bobbejanskloof. Milan, Andante, and Nova have mixed feelings about their accommodation, a tree house near the rock pool that gave the farm its name and from which a creepy fog rises at night. And they soon realize their job is just a cover. They're actually supposed to find out which of the eccentric guests at the farm is tampering with the owner's rare fossil collection. And Andante also feels particularly affected by the strange happenings on this farm. Who is the mysterious guy she meets at the pool, and why does he fascinate her so much? And what mystery is locked up in the diary she discovers in the old house's attic? So this is a brilliant, you've done it. And yeah, like I said, the second one in the series. So this is also obviously first readers in Afrikaans, but also English kids who love murder mystery books.
Okay, exciting. I think it sounds really, really good. Just want to find out what's in the diary and find out who this man is by the river, I guess.
Absolutely. Read the book.
Yeah, we'll do. Perfect. Thanks, Melita. All right, Mariska, over to you for your final title.
I have to unmute myself. We're sticking with a murder mystery theme. Why not? Is it moving to the next one? Can you see it?
Yeah.
The Agathas. Okay, so Kathleen Glasgow is having a season. This woman is making all her money. Girl in Pieces is huge. We sell it bucket loads as her backlist. And then last year she wrote sort of a fun book with Liz Lawson called The Agathas, which I loved. I loved it, and now the second one is out. So basically, the 2-second premises of the Agathas, it's two girls who have absolutely nothing in common, who live in a small town. And I don't remember what Murder She Wrote. Remember Angela Lansbury used to live in a little town and it had a name, but it kind of feels the same to me. It's called Castle Cove. Anyway, so in this story, they all live in Castle Cove, a little town where nothing happens. And in the first story, this girl goes missing, and these two girls team up because they have one thing they both love, and that is Agatha Christie. So whenever they're not sure what to do, they sort of look at one of her novels for answers. And now in the second book, it's going to be their school dance, and there is an assault, and they realize that there might be a link to this old mystery. Something happened there years ago, so it's a cold case that they start solving. I'm really hoping that they at least do one or two more. And I just think they're fun. I kind of am waiting for someone to make the series as well, you know. So definitely anybody who's into their murder mysteries, you know, 13, 14 up. I mean, to be honest, at my ripe age of definitely over 20, I loved it.
Was it not Cabot Cove?
Cabot Cove, well done. I keep on thinking as I'm reading it, I'm thinking Castle Cove. No, it's not like that, but it's like that. Yes, it's exactly that. And it's that thing where you eventually think, come on, how many mysteries can happen in one space? But so far, so good.
Okay, yeah, because I think that Girl in Pieces, that's more of like a heavy read, and these are more like
yes. So the other three are heavy reads, you know, about life and all its darkness. But these are just, they're just really, she just gets the, and I think because they are these two separate characters, they're so different, and the two authors each write a character. It kind of feels very different, you know.
Okay.
But they're awesome. Yeah.
Okay.
I love them.
Exciting.
Great covers as well.
Yeah, great covers. Okay, perfect. Thanks so much, Mariska. All right, Emma, over to you for your final title.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna go Chicken House for my final one. You know how much I love Chicken House titles. I know you love the Chicken House as well, Thomas. So I like to try and dedicate at least one of my presentations to them. So this is from the fabulous Anna Waterworth, The Girl Who Grew Wings. So there are twin sisters in Apopolis, and in Apopolis gods bestow gifts on select few. So if you have a gift of healing, you're a healer. If you are really good at potions, you're an alchemist. And these twin sisters, Ikari and Sephi, Ikari is a healer, just like her mother, and Sephi is an embalmer. So it's kind of got ancient Egypt vibes to it. I felt when I read it. So it kind of reminds me of that, but not quite. So it's high fantasy, but not quite sort of historically, I think. So Sephi actually had a second gift that she was given, which was alchemy. She's quite talented at alchemy, but having two gifts is punishable by death, so they have to keep this secret. Sephi then gets stolen by demons and take her to the underworld. Ikari obviously wants to save her sister. She turns to one of her patients, Kasil, who she has been healing. He's a prisoner, an enemy, but he is the only one who can help her. So they have to come together, maybe a little bit of romance in there somewhere, maybe, you know, enemies turned lovers sort of thing. And she has to use this special powder, this devil's wing powder that is forbidden for anyone to sell, to try and learn to fly to save her sister in the underworld. It's brilliant. It's really well written. It's exciting. And Louise O'Neill has said that it's amazing. So, and this came from the fandom. She wrote the fandom, which was like an upside downy world that brought in all of those wonderful different fandoms together. So I really think this one's going to be great from Anna. I think she's very talented, and this is great world building from her.
Yeah, and I love the cover. When I looked online, I think this is her first published book from Chicken House. I don't know if she wrote before, but this is the first one. You know, hopefully it'll be a series, or she'll be writing other books, because it just sounds so amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Emma. All right, Magdalene, over to you for your final title.
Okay, just share here. Okay, so for my final title, I'm actually cheating and having 6 final titles. This is a wonderful slipcase set of the Enola Holmes series. And some of you may have seen the Netflix movies, but for those of you who have not, Enola Holmes is the 14-year-old sister of Sherlock and Mycroft Holmes, who are 20 years older than her. And she is, in my opinion, a better detective than Sherlock is. But basically what happens is their mother disappears. So Sherlock and Mycroft send her to finishing school, but Enola escapes and sets up a detective agency in London. And while she's solving all these mysteries, she also has to kind of duck and dive so that her brothers don't find out that she is that she set up this detective agency. So it's super fun. It's young adult, but it's more on the younger side of young adult, and it's very plot driven. So for readers who aren't so into the romance side, or the inner workings of teenagers, the ones who love a good story, this is great for them. And yeah, all of them together in a slipcase will probably keep you busy until it's summer. So.
And I'd say they're not very like the index is very like short, so it's like for reluctant readers, or if you're not like someone who reads or has a child doesn't read that often, it's quite nice as well, because the chapters are short, and and you can follow this mystery, the adventure basically, which is really nice.
Yeah, they're very pacey and quick and witty. Yeah, and I love the character. The main character is very feisty and funny and smart.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thanks so much, Magdalene. So that is it for the 3 rounds. Thank you everyone for those amazing titles. I'm just going to quickly just share my screen for the Reader's Warehouse best-selling books for the past 2 weeks in children. So as I'd mentioned earlier, number 5 is the series that Magdalene was talking about, A Robot Squashed My Teacher. in this story, I know the teacher turns into a pigeon. Does that actually happen? But this is a title in the series that's on Hooked on Books by Puja Puri. And yeah, it's been selling really nice. I think this has been our best-selling title from the Hooked on Books range this year. So it's really great to see it's getting a lot of attention and love from readers. Number 4 is the Julia Donaldson title, a previous new title, The Boer Bird. So this is our 4th bestseller for the past 2 weeks. And number 3 again is the latest Rick Riordan title, The Sun and the Star. Number 2 is the latest David Williams title of short stories, The World's Worst Monsters. And then number 1 for the past 2 weeks is our Jenny Han, The Summer Turned Pretty case, which has been, I think, getting a big boost thanks to the 2nd season now on Apple TV. Oh no, Apple TV is on Amazon Prime. Okay, well, that is it. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. We hope we gave you some wonderful options for you and your family to look out for when you visit your nearest Reader's Warehouse. We'll be back next Monday with a new live doing adult books. But until then, happy reading, everybody. And thanks so much for joining. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Magdalene. Thanks, Prishka, Marianne, Emma, and Lisa. Keep well. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Perfect. Thanks, everyone.